This is South Cubbington Wood in Warwickshire. It's designated ancient woodland, meaning officially that it predates the year 1600. It's obviously a wonderful habitat for wildlife, but perhaps more importantly to our village, it's a great amenity. You'll see dog walkers, children use it a lot, it's a great playground. And we're actually on a long distance footpath, Shakespeare's Avon Way, which is used by people from obviously all over the country. If HS2 is built, we'll be standing in the middle of a deep cutting. It's a very sensitive habitat here. The thought of large machinery going into this wood to do the work that's necessary to build the cutting fills me with dread. It's just good woodland, but most of all it's the flowers. If you come here in the spring, this whole area is covered with spring flowers. Nature is very good at recovering, of course, but while it's being constructed, we're going to have a lot of disruption to this beautiful, quiet environment, and of course a lot of physical damage. I don't believe it's fixable. Not to get back to ancient woodland. Ancient woodland's regarded as irreplaceable. They can try and patch it up, and perhaps if we come back here in 400 or 500 years, it might have recovered, but in the immediate future, no. Today this woodland is just a small isolated wood, but if we go back a few hundred years, it was part of a much larger area of woodland that covered this part of Warwickshire. So it's vitally important that we protect what remains, what we've got. This is the valley of the River Lem. I think you'll agree it's beautiful. Unfortunately, to get here from London, HS2 will have to cross that valley, and it will be a very visible crossing because it will be on an embankment and on a viaduct which is 200 metres long nearly and about 11 metres high as it crosses the river. Coming just to the left of that tree you can see in the foreground. Over here we've got another of Cubbington's treasures. This is our venerable wild pear tree. Experts say it's about 200 to 300 years old. Despite its age, it still bears blossom and it still bears fruit. Yeah. When HS2 is built, this area here will become a big hole in the ground. It'll be a 90-metre wide cutting. So the tree is just about in the middle of that cutting. So that'll be goodbye tree, unfortunately. Warwickshire has been my home now for about 40 years. It's my adopted county and I love it. I think it's one of England's best kept secrets. It's a beautiful county. We've got the evidence in front of us here. Unfortunately, HS2 is just going through some of the nicest parts of Warwickshire and cutting through a totally new piece of man-made engineering on what is basically a rural environment. HS2 Limited and the government claim that they're using existing transport corridors. Well, as I look around me here, I can see absolutely no evidence of anything resembling a transport corridor. This is just greenfield territory, rural territory, farming territory. No motorways, no railways, no nothing.